Kevin.
Well, I suppose technically good afternoon everyone. We are now a couple of seconds after midday, and welcome to all our live streamers that have joined our session today for our leadership and governance. I'll be standing in for our normal chair, Councillor David Lacey, who's not with us today and has a leave of absence. But we have a very short agenda, a couple of interesting discussion items that are on the agenda. So through some good work we've done. So I see everyone is present. Our Leadership and Governance Committee, normally the chair is Councillor Lacey. I'm sitting in here today. Councillors Rolfe, Nixon, Brindlecombe and Councillor McIndoe, who's also had a leave of absence for the day. And Councillor Godwin Smith is here in observing role today as well, and Councillor Daniels as well. So pretty much all on board today with the agenda we have. Right, well, councillors, we don't have any apologies. We have some leave of absences from Councillor McIndoe and Councillor Lacey. So somebody like to remove and record those, Mike, if you want. Yeah. We'll just note those leaves of absence. Councillor Brindlecombe moved, seconded by Councillor Nixon. All in favour? Against? Thank you. All right, the confirmation of the previous minutes, and we've all been having the opportunity to blast through the new arrangements with our attachments to our agendas. So if people want to refer to those minutes there from the 24th of January. There was just some couple of outstanding meeting actions we commented on, and I think the 10-point plan was part of that meeting that perhaps is coming up as an advocacy campaign towards the next Queensland state election, which is due this year or towards the end of this year or any time soon. And a couple of general items. Everyone have that? Someone like to move those? Moved by Councillor Rolfe. Second by Councillor Brindlecombe. All in favour? Against? Thank you. Any business arising out of those minutes? They're all pretty straightforward. Okay, the outstanding meeting actions. And that is also a very short list.
Would you like me to talk to?
Yeah, no, maybe if you'd like to, yeah.
Okay, so the first one was the letter to the SES group. So that matter is with Marnie presently. So I will. We checked on that on the 8th of this month. So I'll follow that up with Marnie following this meeting to check where that is up to. The Enterprise Risk Framework went to Council in December, and there's a rollout of that in progression. It was adopted in principle, the change to the Enterprise Risk Management Framework. You'll see a change in the format of the risk section of the council reports coming through within the next month. So in March you'll see the risk section that was in the newly adopted in principle Enterprise Risk Management Framework come through into the council reports. So there may be a slight change to the table section there, and there will be workshops flowing from that. So that's why that's still indicating in progress. So there's work behind the scenes happening in that space. So that's the two items in the action.
On the action list, yeah. So, councillors happy with those? Obviously that's dealt with pretty quickly. Well, I'm probably keeping Mary right in the hot seat, and obviously the major item on our agenda today is obviously the opportunity of the review of our Central Highlands Regional Council draft corporate plan. And obviously having had the opportunity of Dr. Tim Baker being here for several sessions just prior to the end of the year and subsequently, this process, I suppose, for want of a better comment, worked extremely well. There's some good solid discussions, some good long days, but I think the general consensus was it worked towards a pretty sound result. And Miriam, if you'd just like to run through that.
Certainly. I'll take the report as read. Thank you, Chair, Mr. Mayor. So as Mr. Mayor's indicated that you've all been very proactive in this process of developing our draft corporate plan for the next 5 years. So the draft plan, a little bit of a different format, was attached to the report. As you all know, the corporate plan is our principal planning document which guides our decision making for the next 5 years, and we consolidated the priority focus areas for that corporate plan into 6 areas, being our strong, vibrant communities, building and maintaining quality infrastructure, supporting our local economy, protecting our people and environment, leadership and governance, and our organisation. So what we're looking at today is that next phase of engaging with staff and the community for feedback and input, which is an important aspect into the development of our corporate plan. So what we're looking at is, in the report today, is looking at the options that we are going to engage with. Andrea is with us today to look at the communication strategy and the different mechanisms for engagement. And we're looking at 2 different options for the survey component of that engagement. One is a longer form and one is a shorter form for the engagement, which are the 2 options that we will need to make a decision on today. The difference in the engagement levels, I guess, is the commitment we're looking for from the staff and the community from an engagement perspective. Andrew will probably talk a little bit more as to the levels of engagement and the expectations of engagement from the community and staff in that respect. We're looking at using the one survey for both components, and you can see in the report that one would require a lot more time for completion over the other. And I guess that's what we're here to discuss today, is what we would see would engage more with our staff and with the community. We've looked at the different type of messaging and how we will communicate and engage with community and staff in this respect. And we've looked at how our communication and engagement plan would look in this space, and Andrew's developed that up and we'll talk to that in a moment. We've got some key messaging which we will look at both in this initial phase of engagement and what the key messaging will be once the corporate plan is finalised and what we communicate to the community after that finalisation. But they're 2 different messages which Andrea will work through for us, and the different messages and how we plan that communication both through online engagement with the community and in some hard copy format, because we know we need to reach the broader section of the community and our workforce as well. So I might let Andrea just work through a few of the ideas that we have for the engagement process through the plan, which is got up on the screen for us to look at there. Andrea?
Thank you, Marianne. Through Mia. We have just put together a short communication strategy for the survey. When we looked at the key messages for that, I noticed that they had been developed for the corporate plan. In actual fact, we probably need to workshop probably only 1 key message as to the communication behind the survey. The key messages around the corporate plan will come when the corporate plan is actually released. And that'll be why we've got one and why we need one. Whereas the key messages around this communication strategy is all about the survey and what the survey's for and how people can help and what we need the feedback for. So that will just have to be changed a little bit. Essentially, this strategy is really just having a look. If you go, we'll just go down to the action plan, the activity plan there. So it's really just a list of all the channels that we've got to be able to promote the survey to people. Clearly a lot of them is online, but we've really hit every channel that we've got. So the online survey will be done through SurveyMonkey. There'll be a link to that, so we can advertise and embed that link in all of our e-newsletters, CHG e-newsletter on our website. So all the online channels that we use, there'll just be a hot link to that. But we can also produce a hard copy survey that we can leave in various places, and we can also promote that. It's really just a list of the general things. So we were just going through the newspaper, the radio. The Mayor will be able to mention it, I guess, in his column if he feels so inclined at that particular time. A lot of it depends on the timeline you've got. I understand that you want it finished sometime in March, so it might only be out there for a week or 2, in which case you might miss some things like community newsletters because they only come out once a month or bi-monthly. So the intention is to really just mention it in every opportunity we've got. And then we've got the staff, you want to separate those out, we've got the new intranet which was launched last week, so there's there can be a hot link to the survey in that, and we can also post several updates that's ready to go. And for the people who aren't online that work for us, we can also just put out a flyer or something for them that will attach to their payslips and inform their supervisors that can let them know at their various toolbox meetings. So there's all the general ways that we do it. I have got on there posters and flyers. Posters and flyers are again very time constrained with time. If you want a poster designed and printed, you've really got to allow at least 10 working days to get that done. It's probably not the most effective way of promotion these days. The other way to do it might be just to do an in-house one that's more for staff that we can put around the office. It's more likely to get some attention. I'm not sure whether it's worthwhile the time or effort or money to be producing a poster and flyer to actually put up in the window at Woolies or something. I'm not really sure that that's the right method, the most effective method for what we want this one. That's on the list.
Thanks, Andrea. So there's, I guess, some of the ideas for engagement. So we're looking for a bit of feedback, I guess, from yourselves as to time frame for the engagement process. So we're looking at or recommending a couple of weeks to try and still meet the end of March for the rollout of the corporate plan. Whether you believe the 2 weeks out in the online format is going to be enough time for internal and external feedback, given that after that we have to collate that feedback and make some decisions around that to still meet the end of March time frame. So any feedback in relation to that level of engagement and
I'll spanner in the works, please, there. I don't consider that it says in the report, the second paragraph said, councillors have been proactive in developing the draft corporate plan, which has been informed by active engagement with the community through the community reference group model, council community consultations and working closely with the executive leadership team. Having done that, and we've come back and spent quite considerable time developing a draft corporate plan, informed by constituents that actually elected us to a position here, and I don't really consider that we need to go back now to community to get feedback on the draft. What are we going to do with feedback that informs a completely different corporate plan? How have we thought about that?
Three, Mr. Chair.
No, I was just saying, is that a councillor's got a view similar to that, or?
Yeah, just, we've never done this process before.
Yeah.
Wants to be-
I was just wondering, is there a mechanism where you have to actually take that external, I think, is a process, so, sorry.
Yeah, I might start, Councillor Rob, through you,
Yeah.
Mr. Mayor. There is a requirement in the legislation for us to be engaging with the community in the current language. Previously there'd been much more protracted, if you want, for want of a better word, levels of engagement around this. So in respect, we have an obligation to go to the community. I suppose the options that we're presenting, for want of a better term, are a minimalist approach to that engagement, because what you raise very validly is, significant variations to what's already been put together may not be in line with the council's thinking because they've already established this line of view. What we need to do is provide a mechanism for people to at least have had an opportunity to have a say. Now, whether that impacts the final document or not is really up to council and its determination. It's seen as improving the transparency of local government by, engaging with the community, saying this is the strategic direction that we now intend to take, with focus areas that may be a little different from where we've been in the past, and just providing the opportunity for that feedback. And all the report references is, you know, that as you've referenced as well, we've used many mechanisms already to get to this point, to inform, you know, the words that we have put together for
So
the
my
last
mind-
4 years.
Jason, that the consultation on this process probably should happen before we even started.
We did talk about that, and I think for the very reason that you actually raised in the first place, about us being elected members and already having a good understanding of the whole suite of things, that I think to put something out there like we are now makes a bit of sense, because the bones of it are pretty good. There might be something coming from that field we haven't even thought about, which is not even in our peripherals, but I think we've probably got a good handle on it. So to put something out there now, where we're at, makes sense to me.
I think through the chair, it provides a bit of a check and balance against what you've already been informed through your consultation with the community. So you're all very engaged through the community reference groups, through the community consultation, and through your engagement just generally in your role as councillors. So I think this is that check and balance with the community to check that we have got it right in the drafting of our corporate plan. I think the two options that we have for the survey, one is a very minimalist, do you agree with the direction in our priority one, and room for making commentary at the end. The second option is for engagement on each and every priority under that first focus area, which is a much lengthier an engagement, and you might lose a few people, I guess, in having to commit that much time. I think that first option is probably the preferable option, where you're giving that more holistic approach to commentary on, do you agree with this being the overarching, more strategic level view of the council? So it's that, I guess, check and balance on what you've informed the corporate plan from, and as you said, is there anything from left field that we might have missed, and it's that final check and balance. The legislation has changed from previously. Previously there was a 28-day engagement period when there was a community plan focus. That has changed now to, you'll see in the executive summary, the chapter 4 section 104 reference, where it is about incorporating community engagement. And yes, we have done that through your reference groups, through your engagement with the community. It's obviously what's in all the words on the page now.
You've actually covered.
Yes.
And then we're also going on community consultations tomorrow and the next day. I just think that, like, you know, if you're going through this whole conglomeration of advertising, and that is just going to create hurdles. But I just, you know, like that act is a 2009 act, so nothing much has changed in that. I mean, the wording is still the same in 2009. But I just think that I'd like to see, if you've already got a questionnaire, it's not here.
The survey is attached.
Sorry?
If the survey is part of the report.
So, it's an attachment.
Yeah,
Forms part of the
two options. Two options.
Two
Oh, it just
options.
those two options.
Yes,
Yeah, it doesn't actually say, you know, what you're going to do. I mean, I just can't see the reason that, you know.
Well, I think given that there's a regulatory requirement, I mean, that's fine, but I mean, having been through what Andrew's just rolled through in terms of the way that you engage, when there's ways of targeting that very well, sticking to a 14-day time frame, making it short and sharp, and about the whole process that we've actually done is very simple. That meets the as you say, the check and balance requirement. Target what succinctly with a combination of some of those. They don't need to be all of those. If needed.
Just through the chair, like, if we send out option 1 and everyone disagrees with our values that we have already set as a council, what do we do?
We've been strived.
And that's the thing, that's,
Well, I mean, that quite frankly has got to be the option that you have to expect.
And the reality is, if that comes back like that, maybe we're not doing our job properly.
Yeah, so.
So it's
so we're redundant.
no, I think it's, you know, I think we feel like we've got a pretty good check on the pulse of our communities, and we've put this together with the best of intentions. So if there are other things that emerge that come through quite strongly, then I think we've really got to have a look at the plan. So I think it's a good check and balance, I guess. We've done the bulk of the work, so we'll just put it out there. It's a requirement, we've got to do it. Let's not be ridiculous about it and print them out posters and whatever. Keep the time frame tight, just use those punching platforms to get it out there, and whatever comes back, if there's some other things that we haven't thought about and they're strong, you know, they're coming through really strongly, or maybe we just have another look at it.
Just further to that then, if you put it out there, I would imagine it'd be best to go to your community reference group meetings, your community reference groups. We've just had the meetings in the last 2 weeks. They're not up again until when? 6 weeks.
Yeah.
So they've got all their emails,
Yeah.
we're just email them.
Yeah, right, yeah.
Engaged through the email process.
But, yeah,
Do sponsored social media posts,
Yeah, absolutely.
all of those things to put in, really.
Yeah.
but if you put on some,
Sponsors, links to the survey. It's only a survey. It's pretty easy.
But it really is one of the things that really is made for the kind of communication strategy that we're trying to build up. So if you want to test it, this is the sorts of things that really, test it and you get the response back. I mean, if it's working, and we might get some.
Hey, how good would it be though? Heaps of people engaged and they did tell us something different. It wouldn't actually be a bad thing.
Can I just make a comment while we're going through? Regardless of which option we go, could we have a bigger comment section on the bottom? So
Absolutely.
maybe not too long, but certainly bigger than just one line. So
There's a lot in there.
yeah, I don't know what's
We
happening.
don't want to be ridiculous.
So it's 3 lines with another half.
Through the chair, that was just to demonstrate
Yeah.
what the concept was without making the report too lengthy. But also through the chair, obviously this was a draft put forward. If we don't want the values commented on, we can certainly take the checkboxes off the values and leave those as our values and have no commentary on the values and just have the commentary on the actual priority focus and the outcomes. So that may be another option that we can choose to go with as well, because the values are something very, I guess, personal to all of you that we've put
Well, not
forward.
only us.
And the organisation.
And the
That's
ELT
correct, yeah.
management as well. I mean, we've been through those. I think that they are set, those values. I wouldn't mind if, what they think as a working document to fall out of those values.
Yeah.
I mean, that's where we need probably more commentary. But I think that those values, we spend a lot of time, we've had Tim Baker up here go through them, you've been through them. I mean, we spend a lot of time getting those values. And I think that the community would respect the fact that we've done that, we've set those values as our values. And I think that what they want to see in their community that comes underneath those values would be good. But I really just, you're going to just say, well, the values aren't any good, well, I mean, God.
Yeah, no, through the chair, if there's.
No, I think that's a very simple comment, Councillor Nixon. I think that's, that's content, the content's the substance of what we want to find out. The value should be the values we.
Yeah, that's right. If they want to add something that we should be doing to, show those values, fair enough.
Yeah, that's where they use it, that's where the community goes.
Through the chair, the legislation isn't prescriptive.
No.
So it's what you're comfortable with that you can state.
It hasn't changed since 2009, and this is 2017, and we're just starting to do something. I've just read those 4 last letters and 4 last words in
If
that.
you just want to comment on 6 strategic focuses, that's, yeah. You said that.
More the outcome stuff rather than setting values.
And I think naturally they'll want to do that.
Yeah, well,
If it's worded properly,
that's,
that's where they'll want to go.
but it has to be fairly short and sweet, because we not want this done before we start the budget, don't we?
Sorry, Jason, yeah.
I just wanted to make a comment in relation to the feedback coming back. I think councillors need to reflect that this is an opportunity to show your leadership by demonstrating this new strategic focus and direction. Some of it's only a realignment, of previous strategies that were there, but it is really that opportunity for you to show visible leadership back into the community about, these are the intentions that we are seeking to move forward with, and, respecting the feedback that might come back. It's really that clear statement of, leadership from the organisation about its direction over the balance of this term, and view it that way rather than, the feedback coming back, trying to change that. Does that make sense?
I think if we go back to our values and look what's in there, we should be agreeing with it. We're building trust, teamwork, communication, and shared understanding. If we're going to build shared understanding, it's getting the information out, but we're also in amongst there, it's listening to our communities. So we have to listen to have that shared understanding. So.
So we're saying that we're going to distribute this without the value part of it, or you want to maintain the value of the document by having it on it?
I think we need to have the values there. I think we take the check boxes to comment on them.
That's fine.
And so we don't provide the option to comment on the values, but I think they need to be there as part of the document.
That's what the underlying thing's based on, those values that we set.
Right, so now we're getting that's clear.
Yeah.
Right, so now we effectively, I suppose, councillors, we're looking for the options then.
Yeah, so,
Option one or option one.
Option.
Sweet percent.
So option one is our preferred option. Okay, we need a resolution on those lines, do we, Mary Ann?
Yes, that we keep in mind.
So option one.
I just need some words around the values, what's not done.
In option one, remove the comments. Was it?
So this is just the comments about the changes to the first part of it, Sarah. Okay, so that the least of goodness thing to do is insert option, yeah, so that'll be option one.
We know, through the chair, we know that the values aren't make a comment, so we'll remove that.
Option one following on from set values.
In that document,
Yeah.
so it doesn't have to be mentioned.
So it'll be option one, obviously, with the amendments made that we discussed.
comments from, through option one, based on the values already set or something.
All we're going to do is take off the little,
Comments.
Yeah, two lines,
Comments.
yeah, agree or disagree.
Yeah. I've had no problems with comments coming back in on those.
So will someone have to move that? Moved by councillor Middleton, seconded. Councillor Nixon. All in favour? Against? Thank you.
And through the chair, just in relation to the engagement, then you're happy for us to run with an in-house approach rather than going and getting external design done, doing that as efficiently as we can, in-house and as quickly as we can to get the results back out. So around about a 2-week turnaround from when the design process is finalised. Happy for that?
The councillors want to resolve that?
Yes.
There's a second resolution
There's a second
that the engagement process will be handled in-house, I guess effectively in-house.
Yes. We'd like to see how many surveys go out and how many come back.
With a proposed response period of 14 days, is it 14 working days?
14 working days, Andrea?
Can I just ask when you would want that to finish and we'll work backwards from that date?
I think it was 14 days, rather than working days.
Yeah, so when would you want the survey to end? What date?
When is Easter? And school holidays and all that sort of thing?
15, 16th of April.
So we'll miss all that. We're working on March, end of March.
We want to have that by March.
We'll just work backwards from the last time it's in March, do you think?
How many additions?
That's right, it'll be a separate resolution.
First is Friday.
It's got its own reference number there, right, a separate resolution.
Yeah, I fixed it up.
Yeah.
You think you have some good words here, Mary, on that? That's the second resolution, should we?
Proceed with proceed with in-house engagement, in-house communication strategies. Engagement, what was the quality of
Communication
Communication strategy.
strategy?
Is that it?
Do we want to comment on the 14-day?
Well, that's,
I think the timing was the thing that we're trying to get into.
We're trying to get into.
How long do you need to know?
Yeah. I guess.
From a personal standpoint, I'm a bit short of resources in the next couple of weeks due to leave, but it doesn't really take that long to get this sort of thing out. I don't know, you just set a time and you want to finish and we'll make it.
Well, what about the, you could start the 14 days being like the week of the 13th and then the 24th, that's 2 weeks.
but shouldn't the resolution just, rather than lock us into a day,
Right.
the immediate communication strategy, incorporating a 14-day response period.
So through the chair, Jason, with your budgeting, what timeframe would you be looking to have a major impact on?
Yeah, through the mayor, once the strategy is clearly articulated, we can go through the development of the operational plan and get it along with the budget. Budget's ticking away in the background now. It's just a matter of, marrying up the projects against the intent of what's in the plan. So it will happen in parallel, finalising this and then the operational plan, essentially by May, the sooner the better. But we've got some clear intent to work with.
Yes.
Yeah, I know, we'll discuss this.
Can you have the words in there too, Sarah, about the draft that the leadership and governance committee proceed with the communication strategy for the draft 2017-2012 corporate plan incorporating the 14-day response, that formally refers to it then? Yeah.
Do you just want to put like an end date so that people know that it's not going to be?
You'd have to have a finishing date on when you send it out anyway, won't you?
So with the
Well, what the resolution allows us to do then is it says that, we're meeting our obligations in respect to the Act, and then that the 14-day response period is a period of time that we prefer. When we draft it up and have it go out, that's something that's just going to happen through.
Yeah, it does have a date on it.
Yeah, otherwise, we'll so I'm happy to move that. So move by Councillor Wilson, seconded. Seconded by, just checking for spelling mistakes, seconded by Councillor Roll. All in favour? Against? Thank you.
Whilst we are here, Mr. Chair, I just ask your indulgence on another question.
Yes.
Our former corporate plan or our current corporate plan is a very minimalist document which focuses, it's a very nice document, focuses very clearly on our vision, mission, goals. Do we wish to go with a similar format, or would we like to incorporate a a more comprehensive format which covers off on a message from our Mayor and our CEO. It talks a little bit about the development of the plan, about our organisation, about the themes in general, and is a more comprehensive document like some other councils. So have we thought about that broader form of the document and what we're looking at there, so we can progress that in the background, that development, so when the time frame comes, we've got all of that on board rather than being a bit of a rush at the end. So there's what we're talking about. We looked at previously when we had our session, looking at the roles and providing the roles, and we sent out an email following that last session, which had the different roles that council undertake to delineate each of the activities, hopefully to provide a bit of an idea of what council do for staff and for community. So roles such as we're a funder in this activity, we're a facilitator in this activity, we're an advocator in this activity. So to break the plan down a bit more to maybe make it a little more understandable for the community and the staff that are accessing it. So a little bit more thought on that process and what that looks like going forward.
Well, councillor, I thought obviously it was clear that it's very important agenda item for all councils. I would have thought that, you know, the idea of it is to make it substantive and useful. And that's all reflected in those values. So make it useful and effective, and I think, you know, whatever shape or form that takes, I think.
But still punchy, Mary Ann.
Yeah, just
Still
not
punchy.
people won't read it if it's too.
Not war and peace.
No, all right, no, that's good feedback, and it just
Emphasis on
assists
the
with us going forward without having to keep coming back with report after report.
Because the reality is when we did the plan last time, if my memory serves me correctly, there was a drift away from that traditional style to something more concise and easy to read and quick and simple to digest.
Yeah.
So I'm a bit nervous about how far back into the old space we go and keep it fresh and. But it is important, all those things that you did raise, that we try and get the community plugged into understanding those facets.
So get that balance.
I think you're picking up what we've done.
Great. No, that's good feedback, thank you. So that will allow a bit of work to be done in the background to progress.
Like a forward, summary item in the first part, so which is very similar to what Al sees at present, and then following that, what everything relates to.
Yes. No, that's good. Thank you.
Can I just
Thank you for
say,
that, Mr. Chair.
sorry to
No, you go.
generally corporate plans, annual reports and the like are accessed online these days. And so you've got the opportunity maybe to print something that is a summary of your corporate plan. If you want a hard copy that you want to put in grab bags or give to people. And these days with the website, we've got an opportunity perhaps to use the style of the website to go into a little bit more detail about how it was developed and that, so people can choose to read it or not. That's just an option.
Yeah, have a shorter print version and a longer digital version.
Online version.
Yeah, that's good.
That'd be my recommendation.
Thanks, thank you.
All right, let's solve your problems, Mary Ann.
Thank you. Thank you for that.
Right, councillor, my vote was the fact that gives you the opportunity to declare any of your personal interest, conflict of interest, and personal gifts and benefits earlier, and I'm sure you had the opportunity several times today, but none to declare. Thank you. Sorry, Sarah, I skipped over that earlier on.
Okay. I'll put that up.
Councillors, well, that is our only agenda item today. You happy with that, Mary Ann? That gives you
Yes.
clear direction. Thank you very much for that. It's been a good process to go through, and as I say, wrap up. It's, hopefully we can get it out and get the responses we need. Any other further business, councillors? Just remember getting a chance later on, so that's what's happening now.
Already had a few?
I was going to say, that's all good. All right, well, I think councillors, if there's no further business, we're all said and done.
Thank you very much.
Councillor, to close the meeting at 12:39. Thank you very much.
Thank you.